Now you're listening to wrestling news that matters from people you want to hear it from, deep from within the confines of the internet. Covering WWE like no one else and covering TNA because no one else will. You are listening to the best in the world, Ring Rust Radio!
Brad Maddox.
I got 141 and 2/3 chance of winning. Let's go,
And we're back. It's the most sophisticated wrestling podcast in the world. It's Ring Rust Radio. Don't adjust your dials if you're listening from 1983. This is not Donald Wood. This is Mike Chiari. A very sick Mike Chiari, but I'm still doing this show. I'm a warrior like Jack Hughes. Gets hit in the face with a high stick, breaks his teeth, still scores the game-winning goal in overtime. Donnie, who claims he's sick, he's like Canada. He quits, he cries, he loses, and he doesn't show up because he doesn't care about all of you. But I do, and so does BG. This is Ring Rust Radio, and I'm excited, actually, despite how horrible I'm feeling right now.
Yeah, props to you for showing up on your deathbed, even though Donnie, I mean, I hope
he had bitchitis, I think he said.
Bitchitis, yeah, that's so true. He is a bitch. I'm so happy. Every time that he's not here, I am just so much more thrilled about life in general, especially this podcast.
He claims it's pneumonia, by the way.
Yeah, I don't believe him. I just think he's
bilateral pneumonia.
I think he's a coward.
I have quadrilateral pneumonia, and I'm here. All four sides.
Holy shit. That's
crazy. It's crazy.
Yeah, you're a warrior, man. Good for you. I thought I was going to do the show solo. That would be interesting.
I couldn't let you have to be here by yourself. You know, somebody had to step up.
See, people complain that we have, like, quote-unquote non-live shows, but here we are. You're sick. Donnie's dying. And we're still here.
Yeah, this is why we need to build that stuff in.
Hell yeah. We are going to review some AEW talk, some WWE talk, but we're here really to preview the Elimination Chamber. That's instead of WrestleMania. Very excited. We got some previews for AEW Revolution, some things going on for that. We got Dirt Sheet Busters, Mike Chiari, not sick enough to give us all the bullshit that's going on in pro wrestling.
Oh, it's happening.
There's a lot happening. We have the WWE Fantasy Standings Update, fan emails, and so much more.
Yeah, guys, find us anywhere you get your podcasts. Interact with us on Twitter at Ring Rust Radio. If you want to email us, be part of the show, ringrustradio@gmail.com. Also, buy our merchandise, prowrestlingtees.com/ringrustradio. So many great t-shirt designs, including Cut Your Dick. I mean, somebody might as well just cut my dick at this point. That's how I'm feeling. Support us at patreon.com/ringrustradio, where you can hear ad-free episodes, sign up for fantasy drafts and brackets, make us watch wrestling-related movies and pay-per-views, and so much more. You can also check out Ring Rust Radio on YouTube for clips from Triple R Gaming. If you'd like to join in a gaming session, email ringrustradio@gmail.com. That's still a thing, BG?
Yeah, we were going to have a session tomorrow, but Donnie's dying.
Wow.
So I think we're going to push it back to next week.
So he's skipping out on more people. That's wild.
Yep. That's what he does. He's a coward. I am realizing as you started speaking, I probably could have done that part of the intro, but you're a warrior,
I got it.
as you said. You are a warrior. Donnie, we'll see if you actually plug in our intro to the WWE section here. I'm going to leave you a little break.
We're gonna put this all in order. From LW to Dark, we're about to have a discussion about the one true sport. Who's selling the finish? Does this make sense in the art? Tell me who botched, who rocked, who's cashing in on the mark. These takes are uncut, man, they're pure and they're raw. Blow up like dynamite, have you smacked down on the floor. On a collision course with the number one source. Now let's head back to the ring for the latest report. Ring Rust.
And we're back, Mike. We are going to preview a little bit about Raw. I'll review a little bit about Raw, because we had some important... Now, people are not happy with the show. I go on Twitter this morning, so I'm like, all right, show's fine, this is what it is. Go on Twitter, people are not happy.
It wasn't like a spectacular Raw, it was a normal Raw, and with an amazing ending.
Yeah, I thought it was a fine show. I thought the ending was great. And I go on Twitter, and everyone's fucking complaining. So I'm like, all right, well, let's talk about this. We have we're going to start with the ending, Mike. AJ Styles announced for the Hall of Fame by The Undertaker. Now, did you anticipate when The Undertaker came out that he would be saying that AJ was going to the Hall of Fame? Because I had no clue.
That was not my first thought. Like, you know, he comes out and you're thinking, like, is he going to try to be like, hey, you know, I had my last match against you, but it wasn't in front of fans, and, you know, if I could come out of retirement, then you can too for one more match or something, that kind of thing. And then I was like, or maybe he's just going to, like, because he was the locker room leader for X amount of years, maybe he's just going to be the one that sends him off or whatever, but I probably should have realized it because he's been the one that's, like, been part of all these Hall of Fame, like, announcements for lately. He did it with Steph. He did it with Triple H. Him and Shawn Michaels did it. So that's kind of like his role now in the company. Which is
I
cool.
kind of like that. Yeah, I kind of like that they have someone who is going to be the face of announcing kind of like the NFL does. Right. So I like that. So I'm very excited for his Hall of Fame speech. I'm also excited for Stephanie's Hall of Fame speech. So far, I think this is a really strong class. We're going to have a lot of interesting stories that are going to be told. I thought it was great that Abyss made an appearance. Frank Kazarian was there. The locker room came out. So we were talking about at the Royal Rumble. Like, why? Like, this was weird. It's happening at the Royal Rumble.
Abyss walking out of the boiler room was fucking hilarious.
That was great.
That's the first time Abyss has ever been on WWE programming.
Long time for Frank Kazarian to be on, so like it was very cool that they did all that and everyone came out. I texted you. I thought maybe Gunther was going to ruin this. I'm actually very happy that didn't happen. Give AJ his moment.
It's smart how they did it. Like they had him like getting in a fucking fight at like the start of the show, and Pierce is just like, "Get the fuck out of here." It's about AJ, so then he just didn't come back.
I like that. So yeah, very much looking forward to the Hall of Fame. I was looking forward to the Hall of Fame. Love to hear the speeches, but AJ, one of my personal favorites of all time, and so I can't wait to hear his speech. I thought his speech on Raw was very good. If you hadn't listened to his podcast, like the podcast he did with Stephanie, for example, the podcast he had done with The Undertaker a couple months ago. So, you know, it's a very condensed version of that. I would highly recommend listening to the podcast he did with Undertaker and Stephanie. They're great listens, but can't wait for the speech.
It was so deserved, and like, the thing about it is, like, there's a lot of guys who are big stars and they don't get that kind of send-off that AJ got, so it kind of proves, like, the respect everybody has for him, and rightfully so, that he gets that. It's, like, not quite at the level of John Cena, but not that far off. That's the kind of respect that he's getting, and he should. And, yeah, I thought that, you know, it was a very heartfelt speech, and like you said, it was a lot of stuff that he said in like the Stephanie podcast, but I think it added like another layer, the fact that his family was there front row, and they went in to congratulate him after, you know, he was announced for the Hall of Fame. It was like, it's a really awesome moment. And a certain cross-section of fans were probably crying their little eyes out after that happened. I call them tone drones, but...
The tone drones, like Donnie Wood. Don Wood complaining that he's not going to go to AEW as of now.
The guy literally keeps saying how he wants to just be a fucking father for the first time, and people are like trying to be like, but you gotta face Will Ospreay. Shut the fuck up.
Yeah, we'll see what happens with that. I think he's done. I don't think, like you said,
he's
man at his word, and...
what I take him at face value, and what he said is like, might I come back, and if I have the opportunity to like wrestle with my son in the future, if he gets into wrestling, that, you know, he left the door open for that. And if that happens, I kind of think it would probably happen in WWE. It's similar to like Ray and Dominic kind of thing. So that's how I view it. Yeah.
I mean, listen, the guy's gonna be 49 in June, and he's been doing this pretty much nonstop.
And for much of his career, it was wrestling damn near every day. You know,
yeah, it's fucking crazy how much he has done, and he's been doing this since late 90s. So like, I don't know, give the guy a break for a little bit. But can't wait for the Hall of Fame. We also have Brock Lesnar. He comes out. He's issuing an open challenge for WrestleMania, Mike.
I saw a lot of crying about this. I like it.
I feel like they could do something better with Brock Lesnar.
Here's the thing, though, because he's not there often at all. He doesn't have like something built in, ready to go right now. So I don't mind. I kind of like I like how Paul Heyman laid it out. Like, you know, if you come and you face Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania, you're essentially in the main event, and he goes over his accolades, but you're also going to die, because this is Brock Lesnar. So, you know, are you man enough to step up to him and have this chance at glory at WrestleMania or not? I went through the locker room. I don't see anybody who's man enough to be able to do that. So whoever steps up, they look kind of like they're a badass because they're going for Brock Lesnar. I kind of like that. If you don't have something that's so obvious set up for him, I don't mind that because the draw is Brock Lesnar.
Yeah.
You don't necessarily need to have this huge build up. And you pose the question here. Should it be something that's announced ahead of time or should it be like a surprise at WrestleMania?
Yeah.
I think that kind of depends on who it ends up being. If it's like Obafemi, who would be my main choice, obviously, then I think you should just do it ahead of time. If it's somebody from like the regular roster, I think you do it ahead of time because, nothing's really that shocking then. If it's somebody out of left field that we're not expecting, that's not like part of the WWE roster, like I don't even know who that would be. Like if fucking Stone Cold was gonna show up or something, and all you can have him for is for WrestleMania, then make it a surprise and everybody would be shocked. It'll be one of the most amazing moments ever. That's fine. But if it's somebody like a regular roster member, like an Obafemi, I'd have him step up in one of these upcoming appearances. And then, have whatever short build that you can have for it.
I agree with you. It depends on who it is. I've wavered on if it was going to be an Obafemi or Royce Keys. I think heading in, you would feel awkward as a fan that they don't have a match at WrestleMania.
Right. You would be like, well, what are they doing? Obviously, they're going to be, the guy.
Then, as you said, is there someone out of left field? Now, we don't know the situation, but Chris Jericho and Brock Lesnar have never wrestled on TV before.
They wrestled backstage when Brock was going to beat his ass.
Right. But my understanding, my recollection of their careers, they have never had a one-on-one match on TV.
That's true. Yeah.
And that would be a major match for Attitude Era fans or Ruthless Aggression Era fans, and just a mainstream match in itself of these two popular names. It would be quite the way to return if they were able to pull that off. Now,
of course, he's on Guantanamo Bay right now.
He's still under contract with AEW. We don't know when that ends.
Exactly.
The scuttlebutt was his contract ends in the beginning of 2026. Now he's on freeze. Now, is there a 3-month freeze? Yeah, he's on ice. So is there a 3-month freeze? Well, if there's a 3-month freeze, that could potentially get you in late April.
Right. We have no idea. Like my assumption for why AEW would be doing this would be to try to prevent him from being at Rumble, which mission accomplished there, and maybe to try to prevent him from being at WrestleMania if that's something they could possibly do.
Yeah, it's I understand it. It's a shame if that is the case.
Yeah.
In the sense of because Chris Jericho, here's my thing. Chris Jericho did Tony Khan, Cody Rhodes, Young Bucks, Kenny Omega a big solid coming to AEW.
100%. Out of anybody who didn't actually found the company, he's the one that allowed it to be as successful as it's been.
He put on his shoulder. He was the draw. He was the big star. He was the mainstream star. He was the one that they could put on the media tour and go to TNT and be an actual name that you've been on VH1 and all these things. Chris Jericho is a name. So I think it would be fucked up where if you have so much respect for this guy who for 6 years helped build your company. I mean, listen, it is what it is. I want to have one final run in this company that I also helped, build up, and let me go. So,
and he's 55 years old. Every day that goes by is, that's one step closer to not being able to do it anymore.
Yeah. So
and
we have no idea.
The thing is, I understand, like, it's, his prerogative to be able to do that. WWE did it in the past. I feel like they don't really do it so much on the current administration. But I was told how AEW was going to be different and they weren't going to do stuff like that, and that's all they do. They did it with Rey Fenix. They're doing it with Jericho. Seems like they're doing it with Britt Baker. They've done it with a lot of people. So, I mean, it's business. It's business as usual. Like, so that's fine, but don't try to pretend like that's not what they're doing. They're doing it.
My thing is that realistically, unless you had like no disrespect to Chris Jericho, but like you said, he's in his 50s, right? Unless you had like
MJF.
The Rock or maybe MJF, but I honestly I don't even think MJF. I think if
No,
it's
but
like,
I think that's
like
their biggest,
The Rock.
like,
But what I'm
closest thing
saying-
that they have to, like, their own Rock type guy is MJF.
Sure,
I
what I'm
guess.
saying, what I'm going to say is, unless you had like The Rock, Stone Cold, maybe The Undertaker, and John Cena, those very few people who would not jump ship, but if you went to a different company, you move the needle in your
Right.
business. Chris
Right.
Jericho going to WWE is not going to move the business, is my
No.
point. So
No.
it's like you're just
Not this
blocking the guy from just having his moment who helped build your company. I think it's fucked up if that's the case.
If it happened a year after Jericho went to AEW and was the top guy for a year, then okay, but he literally hasn't been relevant in at least 2 years, maybe 3 at this point, the way that he was presented in AEW.
Yeah. So yeah, I'd be very interested to see who they actually. So if you had to predict who they choose, not who you would choose, Obafemi is your choice.
I'm saying Obafemi. I think it makes the most sense. But like I said, that's just not knowing if they have some surprise in their back pocket. If it's gonna be somebody who's just with the company, I would say Obafemi.
Yeah, I guess I wonder what's Gunther doing at WrestleMania.
Yeah, that's a good question. I mean, Dragon Lee, he's not going to face Dragon Lee at WrestleMania, but
No,
Dragon
he's
Lee
not.
attacked him because he's, AJ Styles' buddy. I could see Ray maybe if you want to keep with the going after these old guys and potentially trying to force them into retirement type of storyline.
Because my assumption would be Brock Lesnar is not retiring before SummerSlam, for example. It's in
Agreed.
Minneapolis. I don't even think he retires this year, if I'm being honest with you. He makes so much fucking money. Why would you even bother retiring at this point? I can honestly just see where Brock Lesnar just never, quote unquote, retires.
Right, and just keeps coming back as long as he can to make that money.
Yeah, make that kind of money. Why not? And for the most part, he's presented as a heel most of the time. So it's like you don't need a retirement, quote unquote, like AJ Styles or John Cena had. But like, I would love to see Gunther and Brock Lesnar, but if you're saving Gunther for being the guy that retires Brock Lesnar at some point, whether it's SummerSlam or beyond, then WrestleMania doesn't really make the most sense. I also question whoever goes against Brock Lesnar, if they actually beat him. So that's why I question if Obafemi is actually going to be the guy, because Brock Lesnar destroyed John Cena for a reason. He was coming back. We have to destroy him to build up Brock Lesnar, and Brock Lesnar hasn't done much else since. And as John Cena spoke, well, the reason he destroyed me was because at some point you have to build him back up, right? And so to me, to build him back up is for a WrestleMania match. So if he just loses, I don't know, it seems a little bit weird. But if he goes against Obafemi, he should not, we always agree that Obafemi is the next guy. It makes sense to put him over Brock Lesnar, but at the same time, should he be losing at WrestleMania? He still has that mystique.
Yeah, we should mention that the rumor that Meltz put out there was that he doesn't know if it's still the case, but initially that WWE had it as LA Knight and Brock.
Okay, that would make sense because LA Knight.
I wouldn't hate it because you make LA Knight look like kind of a badass stepping up, and it's okay if he loses. So I think if you are looking for someone for him to lose to, to lose to Brock, I guess LA Knight would make some sense.
I think that's actually the perfect choice because of just the narrative around LA Knight for about 3 years, which is that he just is so popular, but they keep quote unquote holding him down and not pushing him. And for him to lose to Brock, even if, let's say he even got squashed.
I don't think he loses anything from it,
Well, what I'm saying is I think it helps him in the groundswell of fans of being like, fuck Brock, fuck the corporation. We want LA Knight to be the guy. And then you can move forward with him against, it could be a Gunther if Gunther is champion, right? I think there's a lot of, I actually would enjoy that. I like LA Knight a lot. Brock Lesnar is one of my favorites.
I think Sammy's in that. Sami Zayn would be in that same category as a possibility.
Yep. That's a good choice. Sammy against Brock would be fucking awesome. Yeah, so to me, I don't think you have to go with Obafemi. I think there's enough other babyface. As much as I would love to see the match, don't get me wrong. Right. I just really question if they would have Brock lose, especially in the way they just set this up. right?
Yeah,
So
that's fair.
they definitely could. But
especially if your plan
Yep.
is Brock and
Hey.
Gunther at SummerSlam, you'd
You know,
want Brock
yeah.
to have as much momentum as possible.
Who else would be a great person to put in there? Javon Evans,
Sure, yeah, that'd be cool.
right? He steps
Mhm.
up to Brock Lesnar. He's going to do his high-flying spots, but he legitimately gets beat, as you would expect him to. But again, it's another groundswell of, all right, we're going to put you in this big spot as a new face, but you're not going to win. It's all right.
Right.
Doesn't have to win.
Mhm.
So yeah, very fascinating. The fucking Vision. We got to get
They're
rid of
cursed.
this. We got to get rid of this faction. Bronson Reed, he is joining Seth Rollins and Braun Breaker on the injury list. They said that he very quickly diagnosed a torn bicep, I think it was, or tricep.
Yeah, I mean, looking at the replay when a person like looks
I
at
could
their...
not understand how that even happened, Mike, because I kept looking at the wrong arm of him falling on his left arm, but it was his right arm that he was diving to break up the pin.
Yeah.
And then he immediately looks at his arm, and then I know that look. We've all done something where you know that look of, oh, I'm fucked.
Yeah.
Something just happened. That's fucking horrible for
You could tell right away
again,
that was legitimate,
Yeah. Once again, someone who is gaining momentum at the very least, right? Now, Seth Rollins has been out, Braun Breaker is now hurt for a couple of weeks. Bronson Reed is the guy that you would be looking to, because Austin Theory, he's not the one, right? Logan Paul, he's obviously already a quote-unquote star. Bronson Reed is going to be the guy that you would look to get a nice push here.
Right, I mean, like,
if
if Braun Breaker, whatever your plan was for Braun Breaker at WrestleMania, if he was not going to be back in time, you would think the plan was Bronson Reed to step right into that. Whether that be a match against Seth, if Seth is back by then, or whatever.
Such a shame. I feel
it really is. It's cursed. Like, I was very excited when this faction was created, and it had its ups and downs. It was starting to hit its stride. Then Seth gets hurt, and you have the awesome angle to write him off with Braun fucking him up, and Bronson Reed joining in, and starts building momentum again. You got hope for it, and then it seems like they're building up to Seth and Breaker gets hurt, and now Bronson Reed's hurt, who I think has been really, really great in his role. It's just like, now what? Like, what are they doing with, like, is it like Logan Paul and Austin Theory against, like, the Usos or something for the tag team titles at WrestleMania?
I honestly think that's what you have to do. And you mentioned Seth Rollins.
And they probably have to win to, like,
I agree.
For any semblance of legitimacy with this stable.
Or they lose and, like, Austin Theory turns maybe face on Logan Paul. But you were mentioning Seth Rollins, where we've all held out hope that he would be able to be back for a WrestleMania. Now, I will throw this out there.
Even if he's ready?
I'll throw this out there. I know it's not a new match, but what if he answered Brock's challenge? Brock is now with Paul Heyman, who leads the Vision. It could have been a whole thing of, fuck you, Paul Heyman. You turned on me. I'm coming after your guy. That would be fun.
It's absolutely something that crossed my mind last night while I was watching the show, thinking like, oh, it would be kind of cool if one of these appearances, Brock's in the ring and the masked guy comes out and attacks him or whatever, and you kind of like build up to that, and it's revealed that it's Seth. They face each other at WrestleMania, once in a singles match, once in the triple threat with the cash-in with Roman, face each other many times. Like SummerSlam, which I saw live and was actually a great match.
Absolutely. They have great chemistry.
Yeah. So I wouldn't be against it if that's...
That would be fun. I would like that a lot, actually, as an open challenge. And
it's not like... It still makes sense because Brock is...
Absolutely makes
sense. Like a kind of a part of the Vision. He's with Heyman.
Yeah. It absolutely makes sense. They could definitely play that up. Because my other thing was, last night when it happened, I was like, oh, what the fuck are you going to do with the Vision? I thought about the tag team, and I was like, well, maybe Seth comes back and he goes against Logan. But, like, we did see that already.
Right.
And I don't need to see that one again. But I would see Brock and Seth again, 100%.
I'd be fine with that.
So, yeah, just wild things happening. And because of Bronson Reed's injury, the rumor from WrestleVotes is that he was supposed to win to get into the Elimination Chamber.
I think he was supposed to, for sure.
Okay, because there's a lot of babyfaces. Now, I will say this. There's a lot of babyface in Elimination Chamber for the number one contendership, but the champion is a heel. So I understand that. People are, like, complaining about this, that there's only one heel. Now, even if Bronson Reed, there will have only been two, but even so, here's my thing, like, Bronson Reed is not winning that match. I would say that Jey Uso has a greater chance of winning that match than Bronson Reed does. I would rather see someone in there. Like, I know Trick is has no chance, 0% chance, but at least he's a very fun character, and he deserves to have that spot. Everyone else in there is a baby face where it's like, okay, you could possibly see it because the champion is heel. Bronson Reed had no chance of doing anything as far as winning this match. So I don't really mind that Jey is in there.
Agreed. I think the purpose of Bronson Reed in the match was to be the big power guy to do those kind of spots because they don't have that guy in the match now necessarily.
Yep. Absolutely. I totally get it.
And I think that's what the whole point was. Like, obviously he was not going to win. I don't think Jay's going to win. Cody's obviously going to fucking win. We're going to get to that in a minute, but, you know.
Yeah, well, let's get to it.
Okay.
Let's get to Elimination Chamber. It's on Saturday. It's in Chicago. It's in CM Punk's hometown, Chicago. So we're going to break all these down. We're going to start with Elimination Chamber match.
What should I be doing right now with my neck?
Get your D'Lo Brown head shakes out because we are shaking everything. Shake your whole body. Looking at the real deal now.
Woo!
Fuck Donnie. All right. We're going to start with what I believe will be the main event, which is Elimination Chamber match, number one contendership for the Undisputed WWE Championship held by Drew McIntyre. We got Randy Orton, LA Knight, Cody Rhodes, Javon Evans, Trick Williams, and Jey Uso. Mike, as far as I'm concerned, stacked field. Very excited for this match. This is the match I'm most looking forward to on this entire show. I think with Javon in there, very fucking fun. Like, I mean,
he's going to do something crazy.
They're going to do something crazy. They were even saying it on the broadcast of, he's going to fucking jump off the pod, this and that. I was like, all right, thanks for telling us, because he's definitely going to do that. Maybe he'll climb to the top and just fall on people.
Yep.
Very excited. We both have said for months that Cody Rhodes is winning the Elimination Chamber. I would love for them to give us a swerve. I personally don't think that they will do that. If you had to pick someone besides Cody Rhodes, obviously you're looking at Randy Orton, LA Knight, maybe Jey Uso, just in case Triple H wants to give a little fuck you to the IWC.
I think it would be Orton because he's very much built in to the rivalry with Drew now because Drew attacked him
absolutely
last week.
Now, do you see what let's say this. What percentage of a swerve would you give this match of like Randy Orton winning besides Cody Rhodes?
Pretty low. Maybe like 5 to 10%. And here's the thing, like I've seen a lot of like speculation, but a friend of the show, Long Jay, even like was telling me like he thinks they're gonna do like Cody and Drew and Randy Orton and Jacob Fatu. It's like in like a multi-man match at WrestleMania. I've seen other people say this online. It's like here's what I could see happening. I could see Cody winning this, and you have Cody and Drew, but you also have this side storyline with Jacob Fatu going on where Nick Aldis is like, I'm going to give you Drew McIntyre. Like, just chill. You're going to get Drew. And that's the way that you get Jacob Fatu into that. So I think it could and should absolutely be a triple threat between those guys because just Drew versus Cody ain't it. We can't do that. But I think if you're adding, like, Randy and you're adding, like, more guys, then you're just basically saying Elimination Chamber doesn't matter for shit.
Because, like,
you can just, like, why are you having this if you're going to add, like, multiple more people into the match? Like,
that is
for Jacob Fatu, it makes sense because he's got the side storyline going already. He's very much involved in this. I don't know how you can do, like, add Randy to it as well at this point without, like, minimizing Elimination Chamber.
I understand what you're saying about minimizing Elimination Chamber. I have two ideas then.
The
first one, which I think, the first one, which I think is more logical, which is Drew has basically been feuding with the general manager, Nick Aldis, for months, many, many, many months, to where he interfered and cost Randy Orton the match against Aleister Black on SmackDown, right? Yep. He fucks around with everybody, Drew. He does not care. And so because of that, Nick will be like, fuck you, I have the power to put other people into your match, and I'm going to do that, basically.
Yep. And that's something that's been, mentioned.
That's always been done.
Yeah.
Right? The other thing could be, because it is a little bit odd that you have, Sammy could be in that as well. There's just a lot of intermingling storylines happening on SmackDown, which I enjoy. The other thing you could do is Jacob Fatu could interfere in this match. He could cause someone the match. He could cause two people the match, for all we know. The ending could be there's no fucking winner because Jacob Fatu interfered. Drew McIntyre could do that, right? Plenty of people could do that, where you have no winner in Elimination Chamber, and that sets up, it's a little disappointing, but that would set up where multiple people now are going after the championship. Could be Randy and Cody, comes down to those two, and Drew interferes, or Jacob Fatu interferes. I think the most likely thing is Cody just wins.
Mm-hmm.
And like you said, something happens where Jacob Fatu gets involved, triple threat.
Believe me, my preference is the chaos route. Get as many people involved as possible, But I think, and I'm standing firm on this. If Cody was like, no, I don't want to face Roman at WrestleMania, if that was, what was actually on the table, he's not going to be like, no, I'm going to go, lose at WrestleMania. He did this so he could win the Chamber and then win at WrestleMania and have his moment in the main event of night one of WrestleMania. And, I don't see something other than that being the end game for this.
I agree. I agree that no matter what, essentially Cody Rhodes is winning the championship at WrestleMania.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like first off, I would say that there is a 0% chance that the match at WrestleMania, I don't care where it is on the card, especially not the main event of night one, is Cody versus Drew. We already had them in a 3 stages of hell match on SmackDown.
Right. I
they
agree.
wrestled this is not
you have to
happening
add another element. I'm fine with it being Jacob Fatu, and if you do that, then, that's cool. But one-on-one, we've seen it a million times at this point, hasn't been overly compelling.
It's just not happening. I give a 0% chance of that being the match at WrestleMania, and nor should it be. I think the Randy Orton element is very intriguing because I just don't see, as much as I love Aleister Black, I don't see Randy Orton just going against Aleister Black at WrestleMania. Mike, what would you think that Randy Orton does at WrestleMania if he's not in the championship match?
Maybe Trick. I think they've had some interactions, and you could build on that in this match, maybe.
Okay, that could be fun. I could see that. I like that. So you have a triple threat and then Randy Orton and Trick. That's fun.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind that.
To me, I love Jacob Fatu. I love Drew. Cody is what it is, right? To me, that triple threat doesn't do it for me.
It doesn't. It's not. It's not my most exciting thing for sure.
Yeah.
But I mean, Jacob Fatu potentially in the main event of WrestleMania, that does excite me a little bit because he's absolutely awesome. I think he deserves, a chance to be in that type of spot. He hasn't been in that yet. And see what he can do. For me, I would be viewing it as a showcase for Jacob Fatu to be able to prove he could be in that spot. So I would be looking forward to it in that respect. Not the Cody versus Drew element of it.
Then, my other question, what do you do with Sami Zayn at WrestleMania?
Yeah, that's another good question. He's had a really great backstage segment with Cody where he basically
really
called Cody out.
I think that was the best segment in the whole show.
Yeah, that was awesome. And then he's felt bad and he won and he's
I didn't like that part.
Don't forget but I think that was maybe a little red herring. I think that he doesn't really feel that way. He's not really sorry. He said what he meant before that. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe he gets involved in that match. Maybe he screws Cody over at WrestleMania.
So he doesn't even have a match?
He didn't have one last year.
I know. To me, the most compelling thing is at least a 5-way. Randy, Cody, Sammy, Jacob, and Drew.
I just had a hard time believing they go that route. Sammy couldn't even qualify for the Chamber. Randy would be losing in the Chamber. It's just why did we even have the Chamber?
Yeah, that's fair.
Why bother?
Who do you think Cody pins then? Because we say Cody wins. I'm going with him against Randy in the final 2.
I agree.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. I think we just laid out everything for the men's elimination chamber match. So let's get to the women's elimination chamber match. This is to go up against Jade Cargill at WrestleMania because Liv has chosen Stephanie McMahon.
Shocking. Can't believe it.
Yeah, right. It is interesting that both of the Royal Rumble winners are going against the Raw champions and then the SmackDown champions are going against the Elimination Chamber winners. So it stand out to me. That they were like basically like, all right, our top draws are on Raw. So
I mean, it is reality. They're on Netflix.
That is reality. So women's elimination chamber match is Tiffany Stratton, Rhea Ripley, Alexa Bliss, Asuka, Kiana James, and Raquel Rodriguez.
This is
A lot more diversity in this match than the men's match. Not just as far as like baby faces and heels, but as far as the dichotomy you could have in structuring a match. This one gives you far more greater possibilities as far as I'm concerned. And very excited for this match.
I don't think it's as obvious who's going to win, and
I think there's
that
two choices.
Yeah, I think there were some shocking results in the qualifiers. I'm shocked Charlotte did not get in, and that Kiana James got it. I'm shocked Io did not get in, and Raquel did.
It is fascinating. Well, I think here's the thing. Do you think it's just Rhea and Io against the Bella Twins at WrestleMania for the tag team titles? Because if you do, that really does take out Rhea from the match.
But you know what?
Unless she goes for both.
Right. I'm gonna pick Tiffany, even though, and I love Tiffany, but I'm not excited about that. We've seen her and Jade have multiple matches. They were solid, but we've been there, done that. I really don't need that again. It's not fresh. It's not exciting to me. I would rather Rhea versus Jade because that's very intriguing. They have not faced each other yet. And exactly what you said, I could see it being a scenario where, Rhea's, being spread too thin because she's got to defend the tag team titles one night and then she's got to go and try to win the WWE Women's Championship the next night. And maybe there's a little bit of, some issues between her and Io because of that, because maybe Io thinks that she's not entirely focused. For me, perfect world, Rhea wins this. And you do Rhea and Jade. But I think they're going to go with Tiffany, but I think it's a lot more interesting story if Rhea wins this.
That's a good assessment. Selfishly, I want Tiffany to win for my fantasy team.
Okay. Yeah.
If Rhea wasn't champion, I would say she's the easy favorite.
Yeah.
I think the dark horse is Alexa Bliss. Because her and Charlotte are not champions, and you could still build that. They've always had friction. And
I'm
now,
telling you, I think, I don't know why she's in and Charlotte is not. When they did the thing where, Charlotte was making her entrance for the qualifying match, and she, passes Jade, and they have to stare down, I'm like, oh, well, they're just telling us Charlotte is going to win Elimination Chamber, obviously, and then she doesn't even qualify. I'm like, what? That was shocking.
It was very shocking that she didn't qualify, and then she had the backstage segment of and she's telling Alexa, it's okay, I'm not going to be in it, and Alexa just does not give a fuck, because obviously, why would she?
Their dynamic is very entertaining. I like
it's a very interesting dynamic, and so I think you can still have that storyline of Charlotte being jealous of Alexa that she has this opportunity, and going up against Jade, and you do have this David versus Goliath type of matchup, right? So I think I think she's the dark horse. I also will pick Tiffany because wasn't she taken out essentially by Jade?
Yeah, when she lost the title to Jade, then she was gone for months until Royal Rumble.
And I think it's still a good way to continue to build her up because she is one of their fresher stars. And she always presented, especially last year, as a major star for them. So it's do you want to just be all right, well, you had your year, and then you're done kind of thing? I don't know. I don't know about that. And
I honestly think this was always ticketed for Bianca, and she had the old year-long finger injury, and so it couldn't happen.
Well, yes, we should mention that she had surgery last week, and so she seems to be out of WrestleMania. We have no idea what the recovery.
Doctors, man.
I guess you were putting off surgery as long as you possibly could to not do it. And that would be my assumption. And it was we just, it's almost a year. We have to do this at this point.
It just must have been the worst possible scenario for a finger injury, I guess.
Absolutely. Well, she said it was the knuckle.
Right. Which is, I don't know anything about that and the healing of it, but it must be a lot trickier than a normal broken finger.
Just absolutely crazy that is what took place last year at WrestleMania. We have not seen her since. Because so that's the thing where it's I was very much looking forward to Bianca and Jade at some point. That is definitely now pushed. We have no idea for how long. And I think, here's my thing, Mike. if your plan is to have Jade continue a reign, because her reign's been better like the past like month, I feel like, but for the first part of it, it wasn't really like anything. They really do
So
much.
they weren't having her defend or
Right,
putting
she
her in
didn't
a
really
feud
do
or
much.
anything.
So
Yeah.
it's like if your plan is, well, we want Jade to continue as champion, we have to actually really build her up better than we have, and we recognize that we could have her win at WrestleMania. The best person to have her beat would be to continue dominating Tiffany and not have her go up against Rhea yet, because you could save that for down the line.
Mm-hmm. Like, I could see
That's
them wanting Jade to be champion going to SummerSlam, and that's where you get her and Bianca. Maybe Bianca wins
Absolutely.
Queen of the Ring.
That'd be fun if she's ready. Or, you know, if like I said, if Alexa Bliss is your dark horse, well, Jade just goes and beats Alexa, and now she continues that reign. But I think you can say, if your plan is to have Jade still be champion after WrestleMania, I wouldn't have Rhea win this and go lose to her. Yeah. Right? Because I think you would want to save that for a bigger moment.
Unless you're playing some crazy breakup between her and Io or something, and that gets, that makes it happen.
I'm intrigued by your storyline of she has to go now defend the titles against the Bella Twins, who we probably think would win, if I'm being honest.
Probably because that's all they talk about.
Right. And then the next night, you have to turn around. You just lost. Now it's in your head that you lost the last night, and now you have to go try to win the championship this night. That'd be fun.
And maybe Io screws her, and that's part of it as well. So I wouldn't mind that.
I don't like that part.
I
don't like
Io
as a
together,
heel.
honestly, and I think most fans do, but
that's not even it. I just don't like her as a heel, to be honest.
Oh, Io?
Yeah. I think she's such a better babyface.
She's beloved.
Yeah. All right, we just laid out all those. Now we got Becky Lynch against AJ Lee for the WWE Women's Intercontinental Championship. Mike, I think this is quite the toss-up because AJ has only had a couple matches. Two matches, right?
Two.
War Games
she had,
and the tag team.
Tag team and War Games,
right?
Yep.
So this is the third match back. They're in quote-unquote hometown because she's married to CM Punk.
Adopted hometown.
Right, adopted hometown. Becky Lynch on just a heater of a heel run right now. She recently won back the IC Championship.
Mm-hmm.
My question first, Mike.
Yep.
Do you see this as a rematch at WrestleMania?
100%.
Absolutely. I agree. Mm-hmm. So to me, I'm just going to jump in here. I think Becky wins this match in her adopted hometown, cheating. That way
it's a very much a fuck finish. She does something and she screws over AJ and wins that way, whether it's, I don't know, the ref is knocked out and she hits her with the belt or her feet's on the rope or something where she screws over AJ and wins that way and AJ's still able to get the rematch and AJ wins the title at WrestleMania, I think.
I agree. All right, so we're on the same page.
Yeah.
Yep. All right, so then next up, I think it's a very easy choice. It's CM Punk against Finn Balor for the World Heavyweight Championship. I think it's great that Finn is getting this opportunity to have another singles match or championship on a pay-per-view. He has no chance of winning this match.
Yep.
I don't see this being a triple threat at WrestleMania. No. It's just going to be CM Punk in his hometown winning. I know you have two chamber matches. I don't know. I would consider opening the show with this. Get the crowd hot, the CM Punk winning and his entrance, and then you can go into a chamber. Next,
I feel like they typically open with one of the chambers, but
they absolutely would.
I wouldn't mind that.
Something different would be like CM Punk opening the show in the singles match.
Yeah.
But he's just gonna win.
Yeah, it'll be a great match, but Punk will obviously win. There's no question about that.
I think it would be so cool, Mike, if we got the Demon Finn Balor and he's set up as like a gangster kind of thing. As like a Tommy gun or something.
So does he shoot CM Punk?
I mean, if he has the aim. But remember when he came out with like a chainsaw and everything? I was like,
yes,
awesome.
I do. In London or
so like I don't know. I think it would be so cool if he came out as the Demon and he had something about fucking Chicago gangsta.
One part of Raw that really made me laugh is like Finn's like, guys, I got to do this on my own. I got to go and face Punk on my own, and Dominic's like, well, I get that you want to do it on your own, but I don't. I'm going to need your guys' help next week. And Finn's like, you got to fucking grow up, bro.
I love Dom. Dom was amazing.
He's hilarious.
That was so funny. All right, so that's Elimination Chamber. Are you looking forward to it, Mike?
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. It's not like Elimination Chamber has never been like my most excited like pay-per-view. Like I liked it, I think it was better when you could do it like whenever you wanted to do an Elimination Chamber when it made sense, and that we've talked about that many times with like branding these pay-per-views as like Hell in a Cell when they had that as a pay-per-view. It's like, oh, you have to have a Hell in a Cell matches on that,
Yeah.
you know. But I get it. It's fine. Like it's like the next step from Royal Rumble, the way that they've made it, where you're earning a title shot at WrestleMania. Like it's, you know, but it's not one of my most anticipated pay-per-views at all.
No, I hear you. I do think it's better so than a Hell in a Cell type of pay-per-view, because this at least is, there's your guaranteed title shots for WrestleMania. It's the road to WrestleMania. So I get that. I always thought it would be cool if these Survivors, well, they don't do Survivor Series matches anymore, but I always said, like, put it in December, and then the Survivor Series team that wins, the 5-on-5, the 5 people go into the chamber with the champion. But this is, you know, for number one contendership to set up WrestleMania. I do think it makes sense at the very least. And we got 4 matches on the show. I don't think they add anything else.
No, me neither. I think this is kind of what they do at this point if it's not, you know, like WrestleMania or SummerSlam.
Yeah, because you figure the Elimination Chamber matches, they're probably going to get an hour of, like, just time on the show with, like, commercials and emphasis.
Yeah, I mean, it's still probably going to be like a 3-hour show.
Absolutely. Easily.
Yeah.
So next up for WWE, we'll have Vengeance Day. This will be the following Saturday, Mike. This is, so far, we have 2 confirmed matches for NXT. Joe Hendry defending the championship against Ricky Saints. Do you even care at this point, honestly? I don't know. Ricky Saints just doesn't.
I like them. I think that they're just, right now they have a lack of, like, established top guys because they called them all up, you know?
I agree.
So, I think Ethan Page, to me, is far and away the best guy they have in the men's division right now. He's obviously got the North American Championship. So then you're kind of left with Hendry and Saints right now. You gotta, you know, you're gonna need a little bit of time to build up some of these younger guys, like you did with Trick and with Obafemi and with Javon Evans, and, you know, it's kind of the cycle of life in NXT.
And then Izzy Dame against Tatum Paxley for the Women's North American Championship.
I mean, I guess I could see Tatum Paxley winning, but I'll say Izzy Dame because she hasn't been champion that long.
I agree. I think the champion's retained. This seems like a pay-per-view just to have it.
They haven't had one in a while, it feels like. So,
that is true. But yeah, NXT has lost some momentum for me.
I mean, when you call up that many, like, pretty much all your core stars, it's like, well, they're in a rebuild year at this point.
Yeah, absolutely. And then for WrestleMania, we mentioned that we predict CM Punk against Roman Reigns. We already have announced Stephanie against Liv. And then Brock Lesnar's Open Challenge, and then Drew versus the Men's Elimination Chamber winner. Jade Cargill versus the Women's Elimination Chamber winner. That is Easter weekend. We'll assume that NXT has a show that fucking Saturday afternoon. And probably the Hall of Fame will be that Friday night after SmackDown, maybe?
I think Easter's before this.
Is it?
The 5th.
Oh, I thought it was the same weekend.
Because last year was Easter, and this year it's a couple weeks before, I guess.
Okay. Interesting.
Like I
guess Donnie could have went to WrestleMania this year if he wanted. That's a big reason he didn't want to go.
He hates WWE.
That is true. That's true. Speaking of people who hate WWE, AEW Revolution is March 15th, the confirmed card. Since we've been gone, Tommaso Ciampa lost the TNT title to Kyle Fletcher. He basically held it for like what felt like less than 2 weeks. Kyle Fletcher defended against Mark Briscoe in a ladder match, very entertaining ladder match.
People were hurting themselves explaining why it was good that Ciampa lost the title immediately.
Absolutely,
and they said it was the greatest 1-week title reign they've ever seen in their lives. It's like, come on, guys.
Absolutely absurd that he lost the championship that quickly. I would not have done that.
And then we'll see what happens with him now.
We will see what happens with him now. He calls it Sylvie. He's called it Goldie in NXT. Now it's Sylvie in TNT, in AEW.
By the way, TNT Championship, one of the dumbest fucking championships of all time. Named after a TV station.
Ever since I wasn't even a fan of wrestling, but heard that like WCW had the TV title and ECW had the TV, I always hated that branding of a championship. Like, what does that mean? Like, it's so stupid.
Every title is being defended on TV.
Right. It's so stupid. So the confirmed card so far, we have 3 matches. The main event, it's MJF against Hangman Adam Page. This is a last chance match. We don't know the stipulation yet. But
Texas Death Match is what the speculation is, because that's apparently the man from Virginia, Hangman Page's signature match.
Yeah. So if Paige
Can we talk about how
loses,
stupid this whole situation is?
yes, if Paige loses, he will never be able to challenge for the AEW World Championship ever again. That is not a
The old
caveat
pony.
of, right, that's not a caveat of like, he can't challenge MJF. They're saying he cannot challenge for the AEW World Championship ever again.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't understand doing that same thing that backfired on you with Cody, like you just said. And to me, it telegraphs so much that Adam Page will win that I think MJF wins. And that is not what should happen with someone that you presented as one of your top guys, and Adam Page. Who's not a top
Hangman
guy
should
for
not
me.
be in this spot. Like, can we talk about that? Like,
Absolutely.
his title reign was an abject failure. People did not care about it. That's why you went away from it, right? And then you're building up these other guys, kind of doing like something that makes sense. You have Andrade winning fucking huge matches, and you have a chance to go and put Andrade in that spot, and then you lose to Hangman.
Yeah.
Why would you go through all that trouble and then it's just Hangman? And Hangman already has the match, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, so I could get a fucking stipulation, I'll never challenge for the title again if I lose. You look like an absolute fucking idiot because you already had the match. Why would you put that stipulation in there?
It is very silly.
You make him look dumb. That's terrible booking. I'm sure I'll be told how wrong I am, but
yeah.
I mean, I have common sense.
Donnie will say you're an idiot, but this makes perfect sense to put up your entire future on just one match.
Right.
It doesn't even make sense to do it. I would just be like, all right, fuck it, I'll get you next
The
match.
only way it could ever make sense is if, like, you are so desperate for the title opportunity and you can't get it to where you're like, all right, how about this? I'll never challenge again if you give me the title. He already had the title opportunity. Didn't have to do that.
Well, this is AEW. We were
Could
also
you imagine somebody went to the Super Bowl and they're like, all right, I get it. I'm in the Super Bowl, but how about this? How about this? If we get to wear the jerseys that we want to wear, then if we lose, we'll never be able to go to the Super Bowl again. Okay.
That's, very silly. We are running back FTR against the Young Bucks for the World Tag Team Championship. I'm going to say right now that the Young Bucks win, as I always predict.
Yes. They brought back Private Party after like a year away, and I was not happy because I was hoping they'd go to NXT. Maybe they still will. Maybe they're just like, instead of being on ice on Guantanamo Bay, they're just going to ride the rest of this thing out and then go. And then they just lose immediately. That's fun.
Of course.
Awesome.
Then finally, the third match here is Jon Moxley against Takeshita, the AEW Continental Champion. I got that was even a thing.
One of their 37 mid-card men's titles. Awesome.
Yeah. The match will have no time limit, Mike. That's surprising.
Great. Awesome.
That way you're guaranteed that this goes like 40 minutes of just no selling nonstop.
And this will be happening at 11 p.m. at night. But by the way, FTR like beat up the Young Bucks. You sent it. Their younger brother, and I'm looking at this guy. He looks like he's 55 years old. That's their younger brother.
Yeah.
Okay. By the way, don't care. That actually made me like FTR a little bit more for the first time ever. That made them more likable. But okay.
That's very funny. Yeah, not really looking forward to this show.
No, not at all.
We'll see what they can add to the undercard. I'm assuming it would be a triple threat with Ciampa, Briscoe, and Kyle Fletcher, which would be a good match. Yeah,
that makes sense. And then Ciampa lose again, you can kind of go on his ROH run, I guess. I guess maybe a Chris Statlander and Tekla rematch. We didn't talk about that. Tekla won the women's championship, and so Chris Statlander beat Toni Storm, beat Mercedes Moné, went on the fucking run of her life, won the championship, and then they proceeded to pretty much do absolutely nothing with her and have her drop the title to Tekla.
I just want to say that I predicted all that would happen and why I presented a different storyline for them to do
and
Mercedes.
This is 100%, and we how long have we talked about this where Tony can only focus on one, maybe two women at one time to push?
Yeah.
It used to be Britt Baker, then it was Toni Storm and Mercedes. That's it. He's tapped out. Can't be bothered to book Chris Statlander. Can't be bothered to book Willow in a way that matters.
No. You're acting crazy.
Sorry.
What else is crazy is, Mike, we have our Patreon poll results.
Okay.
This month's poll, courtesy of Mike Chiari. Which is your favorite AJ Styles match? For those that don't know, the first of every month, we put a poll on patreon.com/ringrustradio. You can vote and leave comments. So, Mike, which match do you think our listeners, there was more than one, our listeners voted for?
Now I don't know if there was more than one.
No, I'm guaranteeing you that there was more than one vote.
So I'm usually pretty in tune with the listeners, and I'm going to go with what my favorite is. That is the Boneyard match against The Undertaker.
Great match. That is what the Ring Rust Radio account voted for.
Mm-hmm.
And that was tied, Mike. So, do you have a guess for what match tied with it? I will say this. It was from the era of Ring Rust Radio.
So it happened during the time that we were doing the show.
Yep.
Against Cena at Royal Rumble 2017? Or was it 2018? No?
Oh, it was 2017, but it didn't even get any votes.
Okay.
Should I tell you?
Yeah, tell me.
Against Shinsuke Nakamura from Wrestle Kingdom 10.
Ah, okay. Yeah.
They both tie with 27%. AJ against Daniel Bryan from TLC 2018 got some votes. AJ against Christopher Daniels versus Samoa Joe, TNA Unbreakable 2005, one of the greatest triple threats you'll ever see.
The only 5-star match in TNA history, according to Meltz, I think.
Oh, that's crazy.
Yeah.
AJ versus Roman from Extreme Rules 2016 got votes. AJ versus Shane from WrestleMania 33. We were there.
We were there.
Votes. We have a few comments here. Nathan Tomlama says, not from Wrestle Kingdom, of course, but Cena at the Royal Rumble only because Donnie got mad since Chiari and BG apparently weren't talking enough about Omega Okada Part 17 that got 9.73 stars from Dave. Mongo says the best match is the Senor Joe and Daniels Triple Threat in 05. But I like the Roman match because it had fun spots and got me to come around on Reigns a bit. Wingwust, all right. Wingwust. And Alex Contreras says this is such a tough choice. I think this should be turned into a bracket.
Ooh, that would be. Did we not do a AJ Styles match bracket long time ago?
Very, very long time ago.
Obviously, many have been added since then.
Yes.
WWE matches. But,
We
are going to be doing an AJ Styles match-related thing soon.
Yes, we are. I can tell you, Mike, it was July 2020.
Okay. Oh, it wasn't as long ago as I thought. But,
It wasn't as long ago, but, almost 5.5 years. But I will say that did take into consideration the Boneyard match.
There you go. Did that win?
I don't remember.
Okay.
It might have. It should have.
I mean, I would have voted for it to win.
Yeah, I think in that era, everyone was freaking out about it because it was like the only good thing that happened in life.
Yeah, exactly.
We also have some Patreon shout-outs, Mike. These are our executive producers. You can donate to our executive producer tier on Patreon every month. We'll give you a shout-out. Like George Cruz.
Skinner.
George Sparrows.
Jim Del Chapo. He hates us, but we love him.
Yeah, I miss him. Vic and K. Don Balajian, our longest fan in many ways.
D-Dav Shmi.
Panda.
Reggie Gill. Love that guy.
Vince D'Amore. Great lawyer.
Bueno Momo.
And Kevin Creel. Thank you all for supporting us. We greatly appreciate it. For those that don't know, go sign up patreon.com/ringrustradio. You can hear the ad-free version of our podcast. Hear early access to retros like WWF Vengeance 2001 that George Cruz had us record today without Donald Wood because he's a coward.
Hey, you guys are probably going to enjoy that retro more than usual.
Oh, yeah. It's going to be very fun. Most importantly, Mike, next week, our bracket challenge for March, Tuesday, March 3rd, 6 p.m. Eastern, Tuesday, March 3rd. It's Mark fucking Madness. I cannot wait for Mark Madness.
That's what's going to knock this illness out of me, the anticipation for Mark Madness.
I can't wait for Mark Madness. It's always fun. If you have an agenda, if you don't like someone, if you love somebody, like George Cruz loves Cody Rhodes, come on here and make your vote count. Because otherwise, he's getting fucking bounced round one.
That's true. I forget who he's facing round one, but I might just vote for the other person anyways, just to spite George Cruz. If you have a vendetta against other people, like listeners.
Yeah, like Donald Wood.
Yeah. Yeah, he's a listener today. On the sidelines.
Yeah, he's a bitch.
Yep.
I want to see right now where Cody Rhodes is. Oh, okay, Mike. He really might get bounced. It's Cody against Ilya Dragunov in the first round.
Ooh, I do love me some Ilya Dragunov. You know
Yep.
that.
You want to check out the bracket, go to Twitter, and then we'll post it next week also. Mark Madness next week, Tuesday, March 3rd, 6 p.m. Eastern. It's going to be amazing.
George sometimes just refuses to show up to do things with us.
Mm-hmm.
Just know, George, if you're not there, that might influence my decision even more to vote for Ilya Dragunov. We'll see.
Strangeness in the latest report. You gotta call Dirt Sheet Buster. Egregious lies anonymously sourced. You gotta call Dirt Sheet Buster. Scoop, 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 scoop. No lies, no retraction. Scoop, scoop, scoop. Per a source that's interesting to know.
All right, guys, it's time for my favorite segment of the show, Dirt Sheet Busters. I usually talk about how Donnie's a coward and left during this section, but he's just been a coward in general and hasn't been here at all. So it's just you and me again, buddy.
Hell yeah. I'm much more excited for Dirt Sheet Busters now.
Gonna bust some dirt. We're starting with the one from Wrestling Observer Newsletter, as we do. By the way, Meltz has been on a fucking heater this week with some of the bullshit he's been saying on Twitter. Have you seen some of the stuff?
Oh, yeah.
Going off on Gail Kim,
Mm-hmm.
saying that everybody who ever trained her, who she ever like looked up to in the wrestling business, is a religious reader and subscriber of the Observer, and that she just doesn't want to learn if she doesn't want to read. He's such a fucking idiot. He's such a asshole. And then doing his like little fucking ratings post, and he's like, TNA got 220,000. And then he's like, AEW did 600,000, which is the greatest that they've ever done in this amount of time. They went up against the Olympics, and they went up against Tiddlywinks, and wow. And then I'll do like a separate post. He's like, every post that I do about ratings, I'm talking about the competition. It's like, no, you only talk about it with AEW, actually.
That is true. Gail Kim debuted as a wrestler in December 2000. So she has been in the business for almost 26 years.
She has contributed more, done more, accomplished more than in the business than Dave Meltzer could ever fucking imagine.
Yep.
But,
so, just want that to be known.
Yeah. It's from Wrestling Observer Newsletter. Injured wrestlers are working hard to no longer be injured. Believe that?
Yeah, I do believe that, actually. I mean, I would hope so. You know?
Yeah. Seth Rollins and Braun Breaker are doing everything they can to get back to WWE television, but their road to recovery is still very much up in the air. According to the latest Wrestling Observer Newsletter, both stars are aggressively working toward a return following their respective injuries, with Dave Meltzer noting just how hard they're pushing behind the scenes. Here's the quote. Rollins and Breaker are both said to be rehabbing their asses off to get back as soon as they can.
Like,
then they're going to be on the shelf with missing asses. It's going to be crazy.
It's one of those, Mike, not worth reporting.
Yeah, I think, yeah.
This is not a rumor. This is just the way things are with injuries.
I think any injured wrestler is rehabbing, trying to get back.
Like, give me a break.
Especially for WrestleMania. Thanks, man. This is from Fightful Select. Sean Sapp is shocked by Tony Khan's tactics, which he's been employing for years. Interesting. Okay. During the February 22nd, 2026 Fightful Select Q&A, Sean Ross Sapp addressed Britt Baker's ongoing absence from AEW television and revealed that her deal could potentially stretch much longer than fans expected. When asked about her status, Sapp explained that Baker remains under contract and AEW has the option to extend it. Here's his quote. She's under contract for a number of months, and then AEW could add time to her deal, which normally I wouldn't think that they would. But now it seems like absolutely something they would do. I mean, she missed like a long time due to some physical ailments and issues, so she could be under contract well into 2027. Maybe even I don't know, but I've not heard of her being brought up. So he doesn't know. And he's acting like this is a new thing where AEW like freezes contracts. Literally did it with Ray Phoenix a year ago or more at this point. What do you mean it didn't seem like something they would do? How long was Miro off TV for? How long was Andrade off TV for? Pretty long time. So, there you go.
That's true.
Yeah, well, let's be shocked that he's doing the thing that people claimed he wasn't going to do, but he just has been doing. This is a Wrestling Observer newsletter. Meltz doesn't know what's going on with Brock. Andy apparently didn't watch the Rumble either, but that's not surprising.
Not surprising.
After Lesnar's intense stare-down with Obafemi at the 2026 Royal Rumble, fans immediately assumed WWE was setting up a blockbuster showdown in Las Vegas. Is there going to be a blockbuster in Las Vegas? I would go then. But according to Dave Meltzer, that tease doesn't mean the match is locked in. In the Wrestling Observer newsletter, Meltzer reported that despite the Royal Rumble setup, nothing was confirmed internally after the event. There was a tease at the Royal Rumble of Obafemi, and after the Rumble, we were only told that it was not a sure thing yet. We do know that in the lineup in late January for the show that Lesnar was listed as facing LA Knight. But in the Rumble, nothing memorable was done in that direction. While the Lesnar-Femi face-off was set up to get a big reaction, and actually got the biggest reaction on the show, except for Brie Bella. Okay. So, refresh my memory. Who eliminated Brock Lesnar from the Royal Rumble?
Cody?
And?
Was it LA Knight?
LA Knight. Yeah, so something was done in the Royal Rumble to potentially set that up. So that's wrong. But yeah, basically he's saying, it could be Obafemi. It could be LA Knight. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Thanks, man. That's why they pay. That's why they pay to get these reports.
Good report. Good report.
I can't believe Gail Kim's not paying to read that shit. That's crazy. This is from Fightful Select. WWE wouldn't mind if the biggest music star in the world showed up.
Smart.
Think that's true?
Yes, I do think that's true.
According to Fightful Slack citing WrestleVotes Radio, WWE has already been in contact with Bad Bunny's representatives well before the Super Bowl, checking on his availability and interest for WrestleMania. Those discussions were described as positive, and one source made it clear that the company would absolutely welcome him back, even if it's just for an appearance and not necessarily a match.
This is why this segment exists. This is a big reason. It's just the most bullshit of bullshit, of the most obvious thing you could possibly think of.
The dude has been in WWE and performed great. He is legitimately the most popular musician in the world, and he just performed Super Bowl halftime.
Yep.
And the report is WWE would absolutely welcome him back.
Right. Like, give me a break. Shut the fuck up.
Who thought that they wouldn't welcome him back? Nobody.
That would be worth reporting.
Exactly. Say that all the time. If it's something that's shocking, then tell me, but otherwise, do not. BG, Bianca Belair is gonna be at WrestleMania.
Oh, okay. Did he listen to us? I thought so.
Despite being sidelined for nearly a year due to a
she win
serious
a Royal Rumble.
Yeah. Despite being sidelined for nearly a year due to a serious finger injury, Belair is locked in for WWE's biggest show of the year during a February 9, 2026 self-made session. Oh my god. Self-made pro review that WWE sources confirm Belair is expected to be on the WrestleMania show. Here's a quote. And speaking with WWE sources, didn't happen. What was relayed to me is that Bianca Belair is expected to be on the WrestleMania show. Whether that's in a wrestling capacity or making a return on the show itself was something they declined to comment on to me. I said, hey, is it a return angle? Is she booked for a match? I believe they absolutely know what the answer is, but they didn't want to tell me. Yeah, no shit. So there you go.
Yeah,
Bianca
Belair
give you
her plans.
To be, there you go. Bianca Belair is expected to be at WrestleMania. Okay, interesting.
I love that the following week she has surgery.
Yeah, exactly. So here's the follow-up. Belair revealed on February 15th that she's finally undergoing finger surgery on February 16th, nearly a year after the brutal injury she suffered at WrestleMania 41. Speaking during a Q&A session on February 16th, WrestleVotes addressed Belair's situation directly and didn't offer much optimism. Yep, exactly. Didn't offer much optimism about her WrestleMania 42 status. Unfortunately, it would seem that since she's having surgery this week, that takes her off WrestleMania. No shit, Sherlock.
But it doesn't. That's the thing, is they don't fucking know that.
We
don't know that.
What if it's like a thing that heals in a month?
Right, we have no clue.
Yeah.
She could be doing it where she has two. We just don't know that information.
Right.
They're putting it out there. Oh, well, she had surgery. Of course she's not going to be on WrestleMania.
Right. I mean, there's lots of surgeries you can have and you're fine,
right.
like in a.
It's just, once again, of
time.
Here's something that has actually taken place. Let's put our bullshit, quote unquote, spin on it and claim that we have sources and say, like, oh, of course she's not. Oh, well, plans changed. Her recovery was sped up. She's superhuman.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
She is superhuman, though.
Yeah. You ready for the coup de grace?
Oh, double stomp me.
Chelsea Green's injury is only a flesh wound.
Oh.
Sick!
Oh,
Really
there
bad,
it is.
actually.
Yeah.
But yeah. This is a 3-parter. Dave Meltzer addressed the situation in the Wrestling Observer Daily Update, making it clear the injury is not as nearly as serious as it appeared. Chelsea Green's ankle was a bruise and not a break, and while she did miss last night's AAA show where she and Ethan Page lost the mixed tag team titles, I don't expect her out for too much time. Okay. And here's another one. According to PW Insider, those within WWE do not believe Green suffered a broken foot or ankle. Instead, the belief is that she is dealing with a bad sprain, though there is currently no timetable for a return to action. In asking around this morning, the belief within WWE is that Green suffered a bad sprain but did not break her foot or ankle. There's no word on how long she'll be out of action. Okay, so those both Meltz and PW Insider are telling us she's fine. Not bad at all. On February 11, 2026, Chelsea Green took to Instagram to deliver a dramatic update revealing that she actually suffered a broken ankle, despite
Oh, shit.
earlier reports claiming it was just a sprain or a bruise. Had the X-ray to prove it, too.
Wow. That's crazy. You have to give proof. That's because the dirt sheets
Hey,
are
if
so
Meltz
fucking
and
dumb.
PW Insider would have had the fucking X-ray, we wouldn't be in this situation, but they don't care to
That's
ask
true.
around. But, yeah. So, broken ankle, get well soon.
Get well soon, yeah.
BG, how'd we do? Ooh, ah! Coming for you, punk. All right, BG. It's that time. It's time for Fantasy Standings. Ring Rust Radio, season 42. WWE Fantasy.
Wow.
Can you believe it? It's been that long.
We're gonna beat WrestleMania this year.
That's true. Wow.
That's crazy.
Right on par with them right now.
Oh yeah.
We're 42 years. It's been around like 10 years fewer than the Young Bucks' younger brother. It's crazy. All right. So we got Elimination Chamber coming up. That's gonna be the last like kind of ad drop before WrestleMania.
Oh,
so.
we can't do it after NXT?
I mean, I guess we could, but it's only a week after that. But we'll see.
I might have to request a week. Yeah.
In last place, 8th with negative 2.5, Donald Wood.
That's hysterical. He fucking sucks.
He absolutely does suck. He's always the only one in negatives.
That's amazing. I love it.
Tie for 6th was 0, Daniel Hayden and George Cruz.
Hey, I drafted for George.
Daniel Hayden, that guy's probably like, I can't get away from this fucking guy, George Cruz. He's bothering me about shirts. We're tied with 0. Damn.
Wow.
And 5th was 5. Skinner. I drafted that team. Got a whole 5. And 4th with 35, Reggie Gill.
It's a good score.
Good man.
This guy is a good man. Great man.
And 3rd with 40, Mongo.
Wow. Mongo is good at this.
He's been good, doing good, just drafting with his head.
Respect.
Yeah. Respect, exactly. In 2nd with 47.5, Big Money Mike.
Whoa.
And in 1st with 85.
Holy shit, Mike.
BG, what's going on, man? How'd you become good all of a sudden at Fantasy WWE?
Well,
what happened? Are you on PEDs for drafting?
I should be on I wish I was. However, I am predicting a lot of losses coming up. So that's why I'm advocating for a drop after NXT.
So you drafted to front load the points is what you were doing.
Yes, and now I thought I had, I think another ad drop. Basically. Because if Tiffany loses on Saturday, that really hurts my team. And I'm predicting that Drew loses at WrestleMania. I'm predicting that Stephanie loses at WrestleMania.
Mm-hmm. I agree with those.
I need to make some drops here.
So you're saying like
and if I have Tiffany, then she also I need Tiffany to win because if she loses at WrestleMania, like we said she might, I have to offset that.
You might have a big cushion going into WrestleMania and then have to hope that all the losses don't.
It might be like a certain thing that happened at a certain WrestleMania.
I don't remember that happening, but yeah, we'll see. Should be interesting, but yeah, you got a big lead right now.
I'm definitely gonna lose.
You won 2 seasons ago, and last season you had a pretty high score too, and you're up there.
Your pick of Joe Hendry immediately paid off, and it's not like he's dropping a title anytime soon. So that's
my hope.
Pick.
That's just I was looking at who was gonna be in that ladder match. And I'm like, nobody else really makes sense to win the title, so I'm just gonna bank on Joe Hendry and see what happens. But
smart pick.
My first pick of Bianca Belair is helping not at all.
Well, at least it's not 0.
True. Well, I mean, it is 0. It's not
I
negative.
meant like negatives.
Yeah, true.
Sorry.
It's literally 0.
Yeah.
All right. We're moving on to emails, guys. ringrushradio@gmail.com. Send us your emails. If you go to patreon.com/ringrushradio, you contribute to the email tier higher. We have to read at least one of your emails every single month. All right. This first one comes to us from Nathan, the smart collector Tom Lanovich. Subject, random bracket. It's Patreon email.
Ooh, I love brackets.
Patreon.com/ringrushradio. Me too.
If all we did was
Oh, boy.
brackets on this show, I would just love it so much more.
Better get my coin out because somebody
yeah.
didn't bother to show up.
Yeah, fucking coward.
All right. The coin is out. All right. Random bracket. Hey, guys, I have here for you a bracket, or bracket draft, as Donald would say, because he's
He's
stupid,
a fucking idiot.
of 16 random moments / ideas, etc. from the show, seated at, you guessed it, random.
Only way to do it.
All right, here we go. Number 1, 79%.
Great 1 seed, Mike.
It is, and it's still true to this day. Even if we don't always say it on the show, it's in text most days, because usually like George is saying something dumb or Donnie's saying something dumb, and we have the same point at the same time, and it's 79%.
79%.
Against 16 seeds.
Should we explain what that is?
So it was us against Donnie and Joe Archidiacono in like a fantasy draft of like Attitude Era, and we had to like draft teams, put together cards, and then the fans voted for who had the best one, and we won with 79% of the vote.
Damn right we did.
There you go, and that's why it's 79%.
Oh yeah, it is.
It's going against the 16 seed, the Tiny Blanket in Orlando.
Aw.
That was a sad moment.
That's a sad moment, Mike. I'm gonna tell you right now, I am not voting for that on your behalf, because that's fucked up. Thanks, Mike, do you want to explain to the listeners what this meant? The Tiny Blanket?
So we were in Orlando for WrestleMania, and we just got back from an indie show. It was pretty late, and we all like went to bed, and Donnie like fell asleep like immediately, and I was on like a fucking like fold out or some shit, and didn't have a blanket, and then it got like immediately freezing because we had the AC on blasting.
Yeah,
so I didn't have a blanket. So I used like this slip cover or something as a blanket that like barely covered my like body. It kind of like covered my legs a little bit, and that's what I used as a blanket throughout the night.
So awful.
Yeah. Because
then Donnie wakes up and is like, why don't you just go downstairs and ask them for a blanket? And honestly, good idea.
Well, he should have just given me a blanket to begin with. Then we wouldn't have been in that issue, but he's not a good person. So
that is
why
true. He had like me and Donnie were hot.
Yeah. There you go. I wasn't. It was freezing. It was tough. You know what? But it still wasn't as bad as sleeping in his basement.
Oh my god.
With blankets.
Yeah, it was like summer in that hotel room compared to his blanket. Compared to his basement. Yeah, fuck him.
I'm going 79% also. That was a very sad memory for me, the Tiny Blanket.
79% is one of the greatest memories of my life.
8 seed BG finally saying, great balls of fire. Against the 9 seed, browsing Shopna.com.
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 So, Mike, when I saw this bracket, obviously I had a reaction to this. Now, I will say that the only way he got me to say this was in character of Paul Heyman.
It was, you were reading it like a smirk or something, right?
Right, in the voice of Paul Heyman. And we have some great memories browsing Shopna.com.
That's true. The cum shirt.
The cum shirt is hysterical. The pricing on some of these things, like Jeff Jarrett's guitar. Just so many fun memories of Shopna. For those that don't know, this was browsing TNA Shop, their website, but when they would announce it on like TV, it would sound like Shopna.
Well,
however they branded
on
it,
an
I think it
episode
was.
of TNA, they wrote, instead of it saying shoptna.com, it said shopna.com.
Oh.
T on the graphic.
Okay, you know
So
what? Even more
Shopna.
reason I'm voting for browsing Shopna.com.
As much as I actually did love the Great Balls of Fire moment, and it was a legendary moment in the history of the show, because it was like for weeks and weeks you refused to say it.
I refused.
And at the buzzer, you said it.
There was no other time that he could have gotten me to say it, because we were done.
Because you didn't vote for the Tiny Blanket, I'm going to vote for Shopna.com.
Okay, thank you. There we go.
So we're even. 5 seed Scott Steiner calling back in to yell about Macho Man and Stephanie. Against the 12 seed, Chiari realizing he lost fantasy while in the stadium at WrestleMania. Okay. I gotta talk about that. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Let me set up first the Scott Steiner thing.
Okay.
All right. So we were interviewing Scott Steiner many years ago.
Yep.
He was not affiliated with WWE at the time.
Yep.
And he was calling. The promotion was for a restaurant that he was promoting, and we get done with the interview. Shoney's.
That he owns, I guess. Yeah.
Scott Steiner, one of our probably collective favorites on the mic because he's just unhinged, hysterical, and it's a great interview. And as soon as we get done, Donnie realizes to us, like, hey, he never said where this is.
Mm-hmm.
And he goes, guys, I'm getting a call back. It's got to be from Scott Steiner. I'll call you guys back. So we're off the phone. Donnie calls us back a few minutes later and goes, guys, you'll never believe it. Scott Steiner did call back. It wasn't to re-promote where the restaurant is. It was simply to yell about Macho Man and Stephanie and Triple H.
Yep.
Absolutely amazing. So we didn't even hear it in real time.
He played it back
told us. Absolutely incredible moment of the show. And it wasn't even like on the actual show, but just one of the favorite memories. Because it's such a Scott Steiner thing.
And then Donnie was like, yeah, well, since we got you back, like, you want to, like, plug, like, your Shoney's where it is? Like, yeah, it's all Route 5. It's like, where? Okay. That's all he said.
Amazing.
Chiari realizing he lost fantasy while in the stadium at WrestleMania. You know how sometimes a story is told
embellished,
and then like Cody Rhodes has called this a Cody lie, where he tells a story where it has like a little nugget of truth and then he like adds shit to it and it becomes a tall tale that's not real. This WrestleMania, I go in knowing that there's a very real chance I'm going to lose in fantasy. Like, I have, like, a slim lead going in. I know there's a very real chance I'm going to lose. I'm not, like, I don't know for sure as it's happening if I lost. I'm, like, trying to do the calculations in my head. I think I lost. It's not like I'm walking out, tears streaming down my face or anything like that. No, we walk out, we get some barbecue. Donnie, like, is spilling it all over the fucking place, and a dude's, like, Mercedes who picked us up for Uber.
That was very funny.
I wasn't like sad or anything, so I don't know where that comes from. That's a Donald lie, is what that is.
Yeah.
I'm going with Scott Steiner.
Oh, I'm absolutely going with Scott Steiner.
4 seed Big Johnny, quote unquote, educating Chiari and BG. I guess the 13 seed. What's your favorite cartoon cat?
Wasn't exactly like that.
Is that a Donnie lie?
That's a Donnie lie. Because she was coming on, so she had done this whole thing with Grumpy Cat, where Natty, she kept trying to get her cat. Yeah, Natty kept trying to get her cat to be like Grumpy Cat. So I was trying to give her an in to talk about that and promote what she was trying to promote with her cat. This whole thing she was trying to do. So I was like, what's your favorite, like, fictional cat? And it turned into Donnie saying that I asked her, what's your favorite cartoon cat? Now, I will say this. I think it's a great question regardless.
Did she say Garfield? I think she said Garfield.
No, I don't think she did. I think TJ on Twitter was asked about it from someone from the show.
Oh,
and he replied, obviously Garfield.
That's a good choice. That's a really good choice. I really did like that moment though. I had to vote for it.
I'm going Big Johnny. So
I'm going Cartoon Cat. Because of the problematic nature of Big Johnny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's fair.
So I'm gonna have to flip.
Yeah,
what are you calling?
I think when it comes to Big Johnny, I have to go tails.
Yeah, not head?
No, I'm going tails for the association with ass.
Gotcha. It's heads.
Wow, okay.
See, you should have went with head for Big Johnny.
I honestly don't really want Big Johnny to win.
Well, he didn't. Cartoon Cat one. 6 seed BG taking Momo Watanabe just to spite Donnie against the 11 seed, getting a 4-star review instead of a 5-star one because it wasn't in the Tokyo Dome.
I don't even remember the whole Momo thing.
So you drafted Momo so Donnie couldn't take her? That seems
I guess.
legitimate.
Definitely seems legit, but I think it's not like part of my recollection of the show of a historic moment.
I don't like the 11 seed because people, like, it's a funny joke.
Yeah,
but that
that
fucks
was
up our rating.
I don't like that at all. Someone gave us a 4-star review instead of a 5-star. I think it was because of Donnie.
Probably. It usually is.
Yeah.
And they said it would have been 5 stars in Tokyo, which that's fucking funny, but that fucks up our rating.
Yeah, I don't like that one.
Yeah. I gotta go Momo, even though I didn't know what happened.
Mm-hmm. Go on, Momo.
3 seed, you want title match? Against the 14 seed, Necro, Butcher, and Sheamus.
So for those that don't know, Joe Archie, Donnie's friend, he's a wrestling fan, and very early on in Ring Rust Radio, in like 2012, we would do these fantasy drafts, like Mike said earlier, and he drafts Necro, Butcher, and Sheamus, and puts them in a match, and we were like, what the fuck kind of match is this? Oh, that's what it was? They were a tag team?
That's just even funnier.
That's even worse.
I'll say this about You Want title match. There was a segment on TNA where Sonata kept like saying it over and over. This is like way before Sonata was like a kind of a star.
This is like 2012.
Yeah, so he was like kind of little known, and he was in TNA, and he was like yelling "You Want title match." Yeah, I guess it was a different time back then. Talk about You Want title match. It was a different time.
I'm going with that because we still reference it, and and we use it in other ways also. But the You Want, I enjoy that.
Since I don't want to say it again, I'm gonna go with Necro, Butcher, and Sheamus. We're gonna flip and see who wins. What do you got?
I'll stick with Tails.
Well, it is Tails. I'm gonna have to say it again. All right. We 7 seed Seth and Steph appearances.
So these are Donnie impressions of Steph.
Yep.
Seth and Steph that sound identical.
10 seed Donnie calling his wife on air to bring him his wallet so he could buy tickets to a shitty indie show. I don't specifically remember this, but
I do remember this.
He has called Mary Kate many times to bring him shit in the middle of the show.
Mike, I thought this was going to be a different call that we have talked about, but we can't say on air. Do you know what I'm talking about?
I don't think so.
MK
Oh, that one. That was hilarious. Yeah. But that was only we experienced that.
Yeah. Donnie calling his wife on air, bringing his wallet so he could buy tickets to a shitty indie show. That was pretty funny. I'm going to go with the Seth and Steph appearances. That's one of the only entertaining things that he does sometimes.
I agree. I'm going with Seth and Steph because it's one of the only redeeming qualities of Donnie, like kind of comparing the two voices and how they are actually quite similar. So it's a good bit. So I'll go with that.
That's a good bit.
2 seed. How big is Kali's dick? Against the 15 seed, Bilal Powell in the 3rd round.
All right. Here's where I'm at, Mike. When I saw this, the how big is Kali's dick moment, while funny, makes me mad because
we had the opportunity. And by the way, don't like Justin Roberts. I think he's a bad announcer. But
I agree.
we did interview him, and he after the interview he's like, "Oh man, thanks guys. Anything you want to ask me, literally anything at all about wrestling. Like, what do you want to know?" And Donnie immediately yells, "How big is Great Khali's dick?" And then Justin Roberts is like, I gotta go, guys.
Yeah, right. It's just absolutely absurd. Come on.
We could have asked anything, and he yells that. Yep.
And it just makes me more mad towards Donnie because he's such a fucking asshole and an idiot and a coward for not showing up here to talk about this. Bilal Powell in the 3rd round is one of the most unhinged things I've ever seen of anything in my life. I could not believe that this occurred in a fantasy football draft. He had no chance of ever meeting this expectation of being
Jets
a 3rd round
running
pick.
back, by the way. He was never good. It looked like maybe he would be the starter going into one season, and somebody used a 3rd round pick on him in fantasy football. And
the fact that we've referenced this for like 7 or 8 years straight, I am picking that.
I love it, and another reason I like it is because this guy who's one of my dad's best friends, he like the first fantasy league I was ever in, he like ran it. So I was like for a few years I was in his league, and he would make wild ass picks like this. Like, did you remember Amos Zaraway? He was a running back for the Steelers and the Raiders.
Sure do.
I think it was the year he went to the Raiders and people were like, "Oh man, he's gonna be the breakup for
this.
Amizaire." He took Amizaire away in the second round. And he was a complete
my
fucking
God.
bust. That reminds me of the Bilal Powell pick. I'm going with
That's
that.
wild.
Yep. All right, we're in the second round. We got the 1 seed, 79% against the 9 seed Browns and Shopna.com.
79%.
79%.
It's 1 seed for a reason, Mike.
Yep. 5 seed Scott Steiner calling back in to yell about Macho Man and Stephanie against the 13 seed What's Your Favorite Cartoon Cat?
Scott Steiner.
I agree, Scott Steiner. We got the 16 seed BG taking, or the 6 seed BG taking Momo Watanabe just to spite Donnie against the 3 seed. You want title match?
Mike, bring out the coin.
No, I'll be honest with you. I have to take you want title match because it is more iconic than a thing I don't remember.
Okay, there we go. Number 3.
Yep. 7 seed Seth and Steph appearances against the 15 Bilal Powell in the third round.
Ooh, this is tough.
It's easy for me, actually.
I'm going Bilal Powell.
I'm going Bilal Powell, too. It doesn't involve Donnie, so that's an automatic boost.
Sort of does, but...
True. He was there. But...
Yeah.
All right. 1 seed, 79% against the 5 seed. Scott Steiner calling back in to yell about Macho Man Stephanie.
You know what? If it was more on the show, Scott Steiner calling back, I might vote for it, but I am selfishly, and considering Donnie's not here, because he's a coward, I'm going with 79%. We even used it we used it last night.
That's true, 100%. We have an agenda, 79%. And then we got the 3 seed You Want title match against the 15 seed Bilal Powell in the third round.
Mike, one of my the reason I am where I am in life
is because of Bilal Powell.
Sort of. It is my love for fantasy football. That's why I got really into sports and wanted to be a sports journalist. And so I'm going the 15 seed, the Cinderella run of Bilal Powell. That he never got in the NFL.
Exactly. The pick didn't work out, but it deserves a deep run in this tournament. And the final is the 1 seed 79% against the 15 seed Bilal Powell in the third round.
I'm going to be honest with you, Mike. I don't know what could have ended up on this bracket for me to pick besides 79%. We destroyed them. 79% of the votes.
It was an embarrassment. They thought they were such wrestling experts, and they booked a shit
They thought they were so creative that people were going to choose their shitty card over ours, and we were just spot on. We were just seeing moves before they had even know what was happening. We crushed it.
Yep. As much as I love Bilal Powell in that moment, it's 79%, baby, for life.
Yeah. Fuck Donnie.
Fuck him. Sucks. Not even here.
Great bracket. Very fun. Yes. I hope we get another
Thank you, Nathan. Great email.
Next email comes from Matt Bowers of Pain. Subject is top 10. Hello, my rusty friends. I love when you guys do top 10 lists. With so many impressions being... I do too. Top 10 lists and brackets. All I want in life.
Yep.
I love when you guys do top 10 lists. With so many impressions being thrown around wrestling and this show, Seth, Steph, Big Johnny, Vince Russo, just to name a few, I thought I would do a top 10 list for you guys of wrestlers doing impressions of other people. Love to hear what some of your favorites are. Now, Mike, do you have the list?
I made a list.
Oh, you made a list?
Yeah.
I thought he was giving us a list.
No. He wanted us to make our own top 10 list.
Okay, I didn't do that.
Well, I did. So I guess
I thought when he said, I thought I would do a top 10 list for you guys.
I thought I would do a top 10
I thought you purposely took out the top 10 list so that we wouldn't see it.
Oh, no, he didn't, put one. I do understand why that's kind of, weird, wording. Then he said, would love to hear what some of your favorites are.
Right, so what I had here was, I love when anyone basically does, Stone Cold or Dusty. Because they always had, the compilations on, 316 Day of wrestlers doing it, or, Kevin Owens will do a Dusty Rhodes impression. Seth Rollins will do a Dusty impression. Anyone from NXT basically will do a Dusty impression. I love that. So I didn't do a top 10 list.
Well, so I have a top 10. The way I interpret it was, it could be anything, but I did, wrestlers playing another wrestler on a show, basically.
Okay, so I'll give you a whole top 10 right now. Southpaw Regional Wrestling.
That's a great one. So, all right, we'll just go through my list. You can give your thoughts on what my picks are. Number 10, The Miz as The Rock. This was
Yeah. Oh,
after
I
The
grew
Rock
up with
came
him
back.
doing that.
Yeah, Rock came back in 2011 to be like the, I don't know, host of WrestleMania, and the main event was Miz and Cena, and then The Rock came out dressed as, or Miz came out dressed as The Rock, and for like a second, he legit seemed like he was The Rock. It was amazing.
That's funny.
My number 9, Kevin Owens as Stone Cold before their match at WrestleMania. He had the bald cap on, and it's fucking hilarious. Number 8, Kevin Nash as Arn Anderson. Do you remember this from WCW?
No, I don't.
He had like, Kevin Nash is like wearing like a flannel, and he had like the shitty glasses on, and he had like the bald cap with like a comb over on it, and he was pretending to be Arn Anderson. God. And I'm pretty sure like Arn and like Ric Flair got like legit like hot, like pissed that he did it. It's like, dude, it was hilarious.
I'm looking it up. Okay, I remember
you see
this
that
now.
Yeah, it's fucking hilarious. Number 7, Triple H and Shawn Michaels being Vince and Shane.
Yeah, that was a good one.
The fucking wigs was hilarious.
That was one of like the best things that they did in that era of DX.
Yep. Yeah, I don't like that era of DX at all, but that is probably the highlight of it. Number 6, Shawn Michaels as Hulk Hogan when he dressed up as Hulk on Larry King, and
that was a great segment. Yeah.
Yes, hilarious. There even like years ago when Jax was making the wrestling figure, they made a wrestling figure of like Shawn Michaels dressed up as Hulk Hogan.
Oh, that's fun.
Yeah. My number 5, this doesn't age well necessarily, although it's far from the most egregious thing that happened in this segment. It's Triple H as the Croc, aka The Rock. His portrayal of like how he had like the drawn on like people's eyebrow and the fucking hair was hilarious. Wearing the Rock shirt. I love that. Number 4 is literally a wrestling character, but it's Dwayne Gill being Goldberg, aka Gilbert.
That is a great one.
Incredible portrayal of Goldberg, how Goldberg really was to me.
I agree. That was a very fun one. That's a great character.
Yep. Number 3, The Rock impersonating everyone in the Armageddon Hell in a Cell match promo.
Yeah.
Rikishi, iconic. I did it for The Rock.
Just an iconic promo.
I love that shit. Number 2, Miz and Maurice as John Cena and Nikki Bella.
I was waiting for it, Mike. And if it wasn't going to be on here, that was the one I was going to bring up when you mentioned The Miz and The Rock earlier. That
Nikki,
was awesome.
I love you. But
that was
John.
awesome.
Those segments
they did such a great job, yeah.
Mm-hmm. And my number 1, it's, I don't know if this guy technically ever wrestled a match, but he was in wrestling. He was a comedian and he was an impressionist. He was part of that infamous Nation of Domination segment, but it was Jason Sensation playing Owen Hart. Yeah. He had like the fake nose on and like legit caution tape, and like, I am not a nugget. Woo! One of the funniest fucking things ever.
Oh, like, wait, you're just doing the woo. Jay Lethal.
Oh, yes, as Macho Man. Yeah, that was a good one, too. Yep. There's a lot of great impressions in wrestling over the years.
Wow. That was a fun one.
It's a good email.
That was a great email.
BG, we reached the end of the road, brother. I don't know how I made it through.
I'm very impressed.
Because I'm not bitch made like Donald Wood. But BG, thanks for helping carry me over the finish line. I appreciate it.
Man, that was all you. You're a strong guy.
Dude, it was a great show. Really enjoyed it. A lot of fun discussion. Something about it I just really enjoyed. But, guys, thanks so much for tuning in. We appreciate you and all your support. We'll be back here with you next week. And, maybe if Donald Wood decides that he cares, maybe he'll be here too.
Join us for Mark Menace.